everyone that's there is a winner. Like just making it to that point. If you're at the Grammys, you're winning.
Welcome back to the Fresh Record. I'm Wiley.
And I'm Benny.
And we are here to cover the 2024 Grammys after we did a whole deep dive on each category last week. We are very excited to talk about it. So, Benny, what was your thoughts on this ceremony as a whole?
It always runs late. God, like I can't believe it's past midnight and we're doing this right now. But it was good. The performances were great. I mean, I got to see Joni Mitchell, Billy Joel. Got to see some Olivia and Billie. I know those your girls, you know. I enjoyed it. I had a really good time. And I was really happy to see Miley Cyrus finally win a Grammy. I think she was well overdue at this point.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was just a good overall Grammy things. Did everyone win that I wanted to? Not necessarily, but I don't think it needs to do that to be a good thing. I think every performance was good. There was no one that stand out. I'm like, I don't care for that. All of them were pretty good, had some cool aspects to them, I think. It flowed nicely. I just feel like there needs to be more categories into the show. I've always felt that way. There was only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Only 9 presented. I feel like everything, like no rap categories was presented during the ceremony. That's ridiculous and how big that genre is. Like country got at least one, you know? So I feel like that needs to change. I feel like there needs to be more respect in that regard in some certain things. But I did like the flow. I did like most of the winners. So like, I just thought it was overall just a pretty good, decent performance overall. And I thought it was a lot better than last year's. I don't remember one thing that happened from last year. Do you even remember anything from last year?
I do, actually. I watched it last year. There was one moment specifically that stood out to me when they were presenting Album of the Year, and they had like all of the fans of the people.
I hated that aspect. I remember that. Yeah, I hated that. Oh god.
And then who was presenting? I can't remember, but they went up to this old woman who was a massive Harry Styles fan.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. Oh,
and
god.
she read the ballot and she was like you know. So I do remember, and I was really happy to see Harry win, actually.
He swept last year. I did not think that album deserved it. And we'll talk about another one of those albums I don't think deserve it later in this episode. Yeah. I mentioned this. I don't like Harry's House that much.
Incredible album.
Out of the 3 albums he made, that's the worst one in my opinion. It's a good album, but it's not the best of all of his albums.
I strongly disagree with
That's
you.
for another episode. We're talking about the Grammys.
we can do a Harry Styles deep dive another time. We'll get a super fan to come in and weigh in on the
But here's the thing. So how we're going to break this down for everyone watching, we're going to list the ones that were not presented on the show that we talked about last week very quickly, then give our thoughts on it. Then we're going to go through the whole show. I have everything written in order and how it happened, and we'll just kind of go through that and have our thoughts. So hopefully this episode won't be as long as the last one. By the way, I just want to thank you guys for tuning into the last episode. Tons of views and everything. It means a lot to us working hard on this, so thank you so much. But yeah, Benny, are you ready to dive into the things that happened before the Grammy presentation?
I'm ready to dive. Let's do it.
Okay, so here is it going super fast here, okay? Best African Music Performance was Water by Tyla. I'm very happy about that. Best Music Video was I'm Only Sleeping, The Beatles. Surprise. Best Rap Performance, ICU Coco Jones. Very interesting, that one. Best Rock Song, hell yeah, but we knew it was going to happen. We knew it was going to be Boygenius. we knew it was going to be Boygenius. Best Latin Pop Album, it was Ex Me Volume 1, Gabby Marino. Best Pop Duo, sorry, yeah, thank you. Best Pop Duo / Group Performance, which was honestly surprising that was not presented on the show, but we can get into that. Ghost in the Machine, SZA featuring Phoebe Bridgers. Best Traditional Pop Vocal Album, Benny, one you were very excited about, Bewitched by Laufey. Best Pop Dance Recording, Padam Padam, Kylie Minogue. Best Rap Album, Michael by Killer Mike. Best Rap Performance, Scientists and Engineers, Killer Mike featuring Andre 3000, Future, and Aaron Allen Kane. Best Dance Electronic Music Album, Actual Life 3, Fred Again. And then finishing out, Songwriter of the Year Non-Classical, we had Tyrone Thomas. And Best Producer of the Year Non-Classical, Jack Antonoff. So, Benny, hearing all those, which ones do you want to plan out and talk about real quick of what really stuck out to you out of these?
Well, you know, you know already. I'm so happy that Laufey won. It's funny. My mom, I texted my mom when she won. Like okay, little backstory here. I was in the shower. Me and Wiley were watching the pre-show for the Grammys.
We found
And they
out
were
that was a
doing
thing
awards.
last minute too. Like we found out like that was
Yeah.
happening. I was like, Benny, we need to hop on this. I forgot.
So yeah, me and Wiley were watching the pre-show. And I am a studious college student, and I'm very responsible, so I didn't watch all of it, and I had to do work. But I had to take a shower because I was dirty, and I needed to look cute for this podcast. You know. So I get out of the shower, and I get a text from Wiley, and he's like, "Laufey won the Grammy. Let's go!" Like just like that, in all caps. So I'm like dripping wet, and I'm like freaking out. I'm crying because I didn't get to see her win. And then I text my mom. And I'm like, "Mom, like, so my mom's been wanting to see Laufey. Like, she's been looking at tickets this entire time." I was like, "Mom, she just won the Grammy, so if you want those tickets, you know,
Yeah.
you might want to do something about it because prices are gonna go up." So my mom panic bought second row tickets to go see Laufey in Philadelphia in May 6th. So
You got to
we'll be
make
second
sure.
row.
You got to make sure to record some videos
Oh.
so we can put it in the podcast after you've been to the show. We have
Oh,
to.
for sure. For
Have to.
sure. I'm gonna get all dressed up. I'm gonna wear a suit, probably the same suit I'm wearing now, just different. I'm gonna be all dolled up for her, you know, and then we're gonna lock eyes during her performance, and she's gonna realize what she's missing out on. No, but yeah, no, I'm joking. But yeah, I'm super happy that she won. She really deserved it. Kylie Minogue, I know we both thought, or we both agree that like Troye Sivan had the best track on the best dance pop recording, but she was my first pick, if you remember, and I switched
Yeah.
it. I think she deserved it. It did very well over the summer, very culturally significant. Yeah, I'm not disappointed with anything. I think ICU was probably for like best R&B song. That kind of no wait, it wasn't best R&B song.
Yeah, it was.
Best R&B performance.
yeah,
ICU
yeah.
kind of like threw me off. But everything else I'm cool with. Yeah. What about you?
That was really shocking, the ICU, and like I said, I like the remix with Justin Timberlake more than the actual track, so that was like really surprising, but not upset by it.
Yeah,
Of course,
the
I have to
favorite.
bring up Boygenius won and swept in the rock categories. Very, very happy about that. My girl Phoebe, Julian Baker, and Lucy Dacus. And that's right, viewers. I got their all names right this time. If you remember, I got it wrong last time. Very, very happy to see Paramore take the two that they were nominated for too as well. Very happy about that. Again, we can talk about this later on, but Lana Del Rey did not get anything this entire ceremony, which is baffling to me because her album's fantastic. So that was surprising. Very happy that Water made it and got the win on there. Very happy about that. Best music video going to the Beatles one surprised the hell out of me. Like it was either Billy or Kendrick's in my opinion, and neither of them won. So that was interesting. But beyond that, like no big surprises. Nothing really stuck out besides the Boygenius and stuff. Like when they won and got up there, that's the thing about this ceremony and just music in general. And I think why I wanted to do a podcast and I met you, Benny, is I'm very emotional about things, and music brings that out immensely, in my opinion, and how it just affects me. And Phoebe has been an artist that has done that the most in my life since I discovered her. And so whenever she has a win or something comes out, it just gets me emotional. And when she was up there with Boygenius accepting it, I just started to cry because, like, man, how much her music means to me. It meant a lot to me. So, like, I was very happy about that. So go Boygenius. Let's freaking go. But anyways, that is what happened before the ceremony. So it's time to crack in to the ceremony. So I have my list here of everything that happened. So let's start with the first performance of the night and the starter of the night. My girl, another one of my girls, Miss Dua Lipa's performance. And I thought it was pretty damn great. What did you think about it?
I think anything that involves Dua Lipa is great.
I second that opinion.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I actually was like 2 minutes late to the Grammys, so like, when I turned on the
Wow.
TV, it was mid-performance, so I missed it. Yeah, I missed the first half of it, but yeah,
Disgusting.
I was vibing. I had my sound bar disconnected from my TV, so I was like trying to set it up during the performance.
Like, they cut to Dua Lipa so many times, like with the camera throughout the entire show, and it made me so happy. It's like, okay, yeah, give me some more Dua Lipa, and it just happened throughout the whole entire thing. So I really liked seeing that. So
She's got great pitch when she sings. She's a great performer. I know, like, she put a lot of work into like developing her stage presence and putting on like a decent performance. It was something she struggled with early on in her career. Um, and it's been spoken about, but great. Yeah.
she's a superstar in my
plus
opinion,
Dua.
dude. She's like a superstar, dude. Like,
She's a
she's crazy.
superstar.
Yeah,
It's a superstar.
I want her to blow up and continue to blow up. And we get a new album of hers this year, which I'm very excited about. So give me some Dua Lipa. More Dua Lipa. So after Dua Lipa's performance, we moved on to the first award of the night, and that was Best Pop Solo Performance. And that is Flowers by Miley Cyrus.
By Miley fucking Cyrus. Excuse my language. So, I'm a little bit older than Wiley. I'm an old man. And
Literally
I
a
grew
2-year difference.
I grew up. There's a big difference. You're like in the Olivia Rodrigo and Billie Eilish generation.
They're younger than me.
You got scooped in there. You got sucked into that.
No, they
somehow.
are a lot younger than me, Benny. like 3 or 4 years.
Anyways, I grew up with Miley Cyrus on Disney Channel. Like, yeah, I like watched her grow up. I grew up with Miley Cyrus.
I watched freaking Hannah Montana 2 and the movie when it came out, Benny.
Yo, you saw the Hannah Montana movie?
Yes. I've seen it like multiple
Dude,
times.
Holy shit. Me too. I went on my first date to the Hannah Montana movie, and it was I'm still friends with, I guess I can name drop. So Dominique, I had a crush on this girl named Dominique when I was in 5th grade, and we're still friends to this day. Like, I've known her like almost my entire life. So we went to go see the Hannah Montana movie. And on the way out, when she was going home, we were in the car. I farted as she was getting out of the car, like so loud, and that traumatized me. And I still think about it to this day.
Each episode we get more details about your life.
I know. I like telling little stories like this. Anyways, but can you believe, as long as Miley Cyrus has been in the music industry, she's been nominated for, I think, like 7. Don't hold me to that, but I think like she's at like 6 or 7 nominations. This was her first win. This was her very first Grammy that she's ever won. That's insane. She's had such an impact on the music industry. So many hits, like the chart topping. Yeah, and I actually voted for best pop solo performance.
Yeah, you got this one right.
My proof is right there. So I was very excited about that. I think she deserved it.
I was saying when this was being like announced and like the nominees were told, like, I'm like, if Miley Cyrus is gonna win one tonight, it's this one. Is when it was getting read out, and that's what happened. So I was like, okay, there's Miley's award. I was like, okay, good. We'll continue on that thought later. Okay. But yeah, I'm happy to see her win. I think it's like about time, honestly. And you know,
It's about
Flowers.
damn time.
Yeah, Flowers is a good track. As much as I don't care for it, it's a good track. And it was everywhere. It was literally everywhere. So yeah, good for Miley. Moving on to the second performance of the night. I think one of the highlights, honestly, Luke Combs and Tracy Chapman. Wow, was it cool to see
Phenomenal.
Tracy Chapman up there? Screw Luke Combs. He could have just not been on the stage. Every time he was singing, I was like, get off stage. But Tracy was the main star of it. So good.
Don't shit on him. Come
It's
on.
my opinion. My opinion. So
Get off the
Tracy,
stage, Luke Combs. This
yes,
is Luke Combs' erasure, and I'm not here for it, Wiley.
I want. I'm just so glad to see Tracy Chapman. For the longest time, I thought she was dead. For the longest time, and I was like, I thought she died, but I was wrong. I was wrong. She did not die. Clearly, I think I found that out that she wasn't dead like a year or 2 years ago. So, but honestly, very happy to see this performance. It was a nice performance, and it really stuck out. I think it's definitely one of the best in the night for sure. What did you think about it?
Phenomenal, the two of them. He brought the song back to the mainstream, and that it's been incredibly well received. It's a hit. You know, he took Tracy's song and made it a hit. So I thought it was really cool to like see that like homage being paid and having them come together and sing the song. It had I mean, the song itself had a huge moment this year. It needed some recognition. And I think that was like the best way they could have done it, for sure.
Okay, moving on to the second award of the night, Best Musica Urbana Album. And I think we both got this right with Mana
Karol G.
Sarah Benito, Karol G. And I think rightfully
You
so.
want me to say that? Mañana será bonita. Benito. Karol G.
Yeah, I'm glad she won. I thought she was the win. I don't have much to say about this because the only one I really enjoyed was the Karol G project. So yeah, I'm glad she won. Moving on. So we had three performances back to back after this. So we started off with SZA, which I thought was an incredible performance overall. I thought it was just great. I love how it just, man, I thought it was fantastic. She is a star. SZA is amazing. Just incredible. I loved every second of it. And it was just very impressive, that whole performance. What did you think of SZA's stuff?
I think she did a phenomenal job. She had two performances, right?
No, one.
The second one looked like a commercial.
Yeah, that was like a commercial break they recorded pre-thing. So
Okay. But performance though, wasn't it?
I didn't
It's
write
like
it down.
pre-recorded.
I didn't really write it down or anything, but
Oh, okay.
yeah, I guess it was.
Okay, got it. No, she did a fantastic job. The thing with at the very beginning of the performance, there was this woman like on a table with the katana, and she was like doing her thing. I thought that was Doja Cat for some reason at first. I was like, why is Doja Cat on the table? Like I thought like something was going on. I had no idea what was going on. And then I realized it was a dancer and it was like a part of the performance. But anyway, yeah.
Okay. So the next performance after it was Billie Eilish, which I thought killed it. Definitely top performance of the night, in my opinion. She just brought all the emotion to it. It was outstanding. And it just, wow. Billie Eilish just killed it. And that song's so emotional. And I thought when I talked about it before last episode, and saying that how this song has so emotion built into it, and still even having that emotion built into it, Billie Eilish brought out more emotion during the performance. So I thought it was very simple, stripped down, and I really did enjoy seeing her perform. So
I thought it started off pretty shaky, to be honest, vocally. She's like an incredibly she's an incredibly talented vocalist, actually. But I don't know if it was nerves, but like there was some pitch and control issues at first, and then towards the like halfway through the performance, um, she really came in and like really got into the song. Like when she specifically when she took the mic off the stand and pushed it to the side, she like and she took off her glasses and she really got lost in the song. That's when she like really got she became one with the song in that moment. It's perfect at that point. But the beginning half, like as a vocalist, as a musician, I think maybe like when you're first starting a song, it's real prime, and I think nerves definitely played a part too. Phineas's harmonies towards the end were fantastic. They blended in so well. The band backing them up really did a great job, and it's a very simple song. Like I think the instrumentation plays a really big part. It's very atmospheric, and like without the accompaniments, it's kind of empty in my opinion. Even though like if you were to beautiful, but like it really added to the atmospheric um overall like vibe of the song.
Okay, so then finally, of these three performances we had, we ended with Miley Cyrus. I'll let you start off with this one.
Miley like seemed manic, not gonna lie. She was like like all over.
Yelling at the crowd as well. That
I
know
am
the song, you know the song. Everyone knows the song.
she was like she was no sh- I think she said wait, she was like, you gotta be dancing like don't act like you don't know this song, you better dance like you know this song or something, like,
Yeah.
um uh and it was playful, but I kind of when she did that I was like, huh, but again, Miley Cyrus is a true vocalist. She was pitch perfect from start to finish. She's an incredible performer. She has a really like she's very skilled at controlling an audience and really engaging with the crowd. Um, and all of that really like shined through in this performance. She did a phenomenal job. Um, it was really like the dancing kind of threw me off, the choreography that she had for the song, but she was like really feeling herself. It was feel good. It was like she really like encapsulated the essence of like the song itself, Flowers, like how you're supposed to like have fun and love yourself, and and like be kind to yourself, and like have confidence in what you're doing, and that's the vibe she brought. It was very well done. Pitch perfect though. She can fucking sing. I really enjoyed it. And then during the performance, she was like, "I won my first fucking Grammy." I was like, I laughed. I laughed on that. I was like, "Yeah, fucking Miley, own it." Oh, yeah. I texted you and I was like, Miley popped off, and then like a half hour later, you sent me you sent me back an emoji, and it's just like the flat face emoji, just like
That was a response to
like,
another thing that happened that we'll get into.
oh, I thought
That was not a response to the
responded
performance,
that. I
no.
was like,
No,
oh,
I thought her performance was fantastic, but like with Miley, like before she had that dip, and it was like right around Wrecking Ball when that came out. That was like when she finally came back on the scene again. And during that era of Miley Cyrus, she was doing covers of these songs that were outstanding, and they were just there was so much presence to it, and it was like very minimalistic. Like there was like one she was sitting on a couch outside, it was very little happening, and I felt like that's what this performance was.
cover?
Yeah, one of those. Don't Dream It's Over is what I'm thinking about. Is the one I'm thinking about.
Mhm.
But like 100 Ways to Leave Your Lover, she did another one. But anyways, that's beside the point. Like Miley Cyrus is so gifted vocally. She can have nothing happening on the set of where she's performing and make everything out of it. And that's what she did here. She literally just had her there and did all these moves and made it her own when everyone else besides Billie, they had something going on. Everything was like there was these sets, elaborate sets and everything, and she just destroyed it with absolutely nothing around her. So like, holy crap, really impressive. Okay, so next award, which I was honestly surprised about, and that went to Bell Bottom Country by Lainey Wilson for Best Country Album.
I agree. I was surprised as well.
Yeah, I thought this
Zach
was
Bryan
like
was gonna
easily
take it.
Zach Bryan's award, and I was just kind of shocked. But I'm glad. I really liked her speech. So like, good for her, man. Good for her. But I'm not a big country fan, so I
Yeah.
don't have much to say. But I liked her speech, and good for her.
And you can tell that like the showrunners knew that people thought Zach was gonna win, or it was anticipated that he was gonna win, because when she won, they put the camera on him for a hot second, and
Yeah,
you saw his face was red. Like he
yeah.
he looked. I don't know if he was mad. I'm not insinuating that he was mad. I'm not like giving any fake news here, but he was red, like around here. Maybe it's just nerves, but yeah, I
Okay,
liked her vibe.
yeah. Then we get to best R&B song, which made me very happy, and I got this one correct, and that is "Snooze" by SZA. Let's go, SZA! Popping off tonight, getting an award. Very happy about that. Super, super happy about SZA winning because she freaking killed it. She freaking killed it. Very happy about this one.
Yeah, I also wanted Snooze to win. So two for two there. But what was really particularly moved by was her speech. And something I didn't know was that her and Lizzo were on tour together back in like 2013, she said. And they were like playing really small venues. Um, so I thought it was really cool that they were able to share that moment together. You know, they kind of grew through the industry together. And it's not like the music industry is a very vast but a very small place. And you know, if you're in the industry, you know exactly what I mean. Um, so things like this happen at times, but not on this scale. Not on this scale. I don't know why I said scale like that. Scale. Uh, but it was very heartwarming for me to see that, and then also see just how genuine SZA was. I never like really saw her speak so intently, or I never had a moment to like see her as a human other than an artist.
Mhm.
And another thing to note about the Grammys, one thing that I love about this is that you get to see artists as people in these moments, not just as their artistic personas that they're exuding. And in that moment, she was just so raw and authentic and appreciative of where she was in her career. Yeah, really, really lifted my spirits up. She seemed like I think like Karma. If we're speaking about Karma, she deserved the award. She was just like, I could feel it. I could feel it.
Talk about a concert to go to. A SZA and Lizzo concert when they were small. Dude, think about going to that concert. That would have been insane to check out. That's crazy to think. I always think about that stuff. Like that's where they started. Like imagine being in there like, "Oh, this is going to be something." Like, I always think that's cool. Then we got to something that really surprised me, honestly. The next performance of the night was Olivia Rodrigo, which I have made it very clear on this podcast and everywhere. I do not like the song Vampire. I have made this very clear. But man, did this performance make me like the song. And I don't know how to describe that, but I thought she killed it. I thought how it was just her and her vocals just right there. I thought she killed it. I honestly was amazed, and it made me like the song a little bit more. So I don't know what that attests to the performance, but like making a song I do not like to making me like it a little bit with your performance is incredible in itself, because I did not like this song, but I loved her performance.
So I kind of have a complete opposite
Wow,
experience here.
interesting.
So so I love Vampire. I think it's a fantastic song. I have no shame in saying it. Um it's so good. The production value, her vocals are on it are so good and crisp. The thing is with Olivia Rodrigo, she has a voice that's much better suited for studio work. When she performs live, her vocals typically don't live up to the track. Stage fright and anxiety, and as a performer who struggled with that myself, it's something that I really relate to, and I understand how that can get in the way and lessen the performance. And if you're freaking out, if you're nervous, your vocal cords don't work as well as they should. To the bridge where she kind of like had to go up and belt a little bit. She was a bit pitchy. I think she did the song to the best of her ability, but the vocals weren't completely there for me. And just like the contradiction or the juxtaposition really between the track and her live vocals kind of like threw me off. But she's incredibly talented. I love the song. I like the little theatrics she had with the blood, and she kind of like wiped it on her face and on her neck and stuff. And it was very like minimalistic, but also um it added like just the perfect touch. And she's also she's growing up. She's 20. She's 20 years old. We have to remember how young this girl is, and she's out here doing this. People that are 20 years older than her are, not doing what she's doing. I gotta give it to her. She's so young, and she still has such a bright future ahead of her. She's so talented.
And her
Yeah.
last album topped her first album, which was already great in the first place. So, like, I'm so excited to see what she does next. Then we got into a next performance that I thought was an awful ad. I hated every second of it. It wasn't live or anything, and that was the U2 Spear performance. I hated this. You can't convince me otherwise. I felt it so out of place. It was by far the worst performance.
Oh, yeah.
And would you even call it a performance? It wasn't even live. It was just like recorded. So like, I don't know. I did not care for it at all. What was your thoughts on it?
I mean, we gotta respect you two like seniorities here, they've been in the game for so long, and the fact that they're still here and performing, and they're out there like, they're just giving it their all, and that's like, just that, to me, that's admirable. But also, yeah, like I was kind of zoning out during the performance. I'm not gonna lie. I
The
was
camera
on
was
my
like,
phone, like, yeah. I mean, seeing the spear was really cool. Like seeing the venue itself and how it's laid out. But
you can see that on
um,
YouTube.
yeah. I do agree. It was a bit just like out of place for sure.
Definitely the worst thing they added this year, in my opinion. Like, definitely the worst thing. Okay. Now we're getting to, I think, where we're gonna have the most conversation. There's two, and this is one of them, and that is pop vocal album going to Taylor Swift for Midnights. And on last episode, we said that we didn't really care for Midnights. We thought, I think, I won't speak for Benny, that it's her worst album that I've heard, and I just didn't care for it. And she won this. And then she got up on stage and announced a brand new album called The Tortured Poets Department, which I thought was really interesting to do that up there. I think that's in style for Taylor Swift and how she does things. Very happy for you Swifties out there getting a new album. That's exciting. I'm actually pretty excited for the album, honestly, to see what she does next. But yeah, kind of really disappointed that Guts did not get this. And I know you had Kelly Clarkson, but we haven't talked about this at all because we came straight after the thing. What is your thoughts on this whole thing?
Swifties, respectfully, I have so much respect for Taylor Swift. I respect her incredibly large fan base. She's just unlike any other artist that this world has ever seen. She's incredible. She's like the biggest thing since Beatlemania.
If not bigger,
You know?
honestly, if not bigger.
It's a different world, social media and whatnot. I don't know if bigger is the word. If you like the Beatles, anyways, we don't need to get into the history of the Beatles right now and all of that. But Midnight's was not it. It's not her best work. There isn't a single song on it personally that I think is amazing.
Same.
And like I would, yeah, like it's not something like I would look at this album and be like, guys, you have to listen to this album right now. It's so good. Like it's just really doesn't have any sense of like urgency or like any wow factor to me. It's just like easily digestible pop music.
But nothing
Overly
stands
produced
out
pop
too.
music.
I will have your back in this.
Yeah,
like
nothing stands out
yeah,
to me.
there's no
with the album.
August on this album. There's no Mirror Ball. There's no like something that stands out. There is no I forgot the 10-minute version song, whatever that song's called. I'm blanking on the name of it.
All Too Well.
Yeah, All Too Well. There's no All Too Well. Like
Yeah.
It just doesn't stick
No
out.
cruel summer.
Yes.
No cruel summer. No, you belong with me.
And again,
God damn it.
I like Taylor Swift. Very impressed at what she does. Extreme amount, like admire to how hard she works and how much effort she puts into writing songs and all that, and how she goes into marketing. Mad respect, honestly. It's not even a diss towards her. It's just I do not like Midnights, and I don't know how to describe that. But I think it's cool that we got a new album, even though it felt kind of out of place to do that. I still like happy about it, excited for it, because like I went on Instagram and Instagram was crashing the likes on it. So I'm very, very interested for that new album. But honestly, like I agree, like there's no ones that stand out on Midnights. Midnights was not an album I'll go back and listen to unless it's for research purposes, you know?
Yeah, and you know what? With this being said, we should make our first podcast of April a Taylor Swift deep dive.
100%. I think we should do it
album.
around that release, because that would be interesting to rank and listen to all her albums. So, yeah. Okay, so
100%.
Moving on. So here's a mouthful. So we had the in memoriam, but this was a stat in memoriam. I've never seen anything like it. So it started off with a tribute to Tony Bennett with Stevie Wonder, and then it went to
Stevie.
Annie Lennox for Sinead O'Connor, then John Baptiste, and then ended with Fantasia and Tina Turner. Holy crap! That was stacked and amazing all the way through. It was very impressive.
I gotta say though, Fantasia performing at the Grammys in 2024 was the last thing that I would expect.
She did an incredible job.
She was absolutely phenomenal, but I would never think that. Like I'm not even too sure what she's done recently. I don't know much.
She was in the movie. She was in the movie Color Purple, the musical version of it. And she had a leading role. That's kind of why Oprah introduced her, because she was a producer on the film. So that's where that connection comes from.
Oh, okay. I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I'll give it a watch.
Might be a hot take, but I thought the weakest of all the performance was Stevie, and it hurts to say that. I love Stevie. I thought the Stevie stuff was not great.
The thing is, Stevie Wonder's, in my opinion, one of the last century's greatest songwriters. He is one of my all-time favorite musicians, if not my all-time favorite musician. There were some technical difficulties around the time that he started performing. I don't know if you noticed, like they played the montage before it was supposed to be played.
It played Jimmy Buffett before it started.
Yeah, so there was some technical difficulties there for sure. I don't know if he like couldn't hear too well. Maybe there was something going on. But yeah, he wasn't singing at his greatest. Towards the end of his performance, he started belting when he was when him and Tony were like, For Once in My Life, when they were singing, he was like belting to like match Tony, and that's when his voice started shining. But like when he got into it, he was just like really not giving it his all. But we also have to keep in mind that he's 73 years old. And that's relatively young, actually. But I don't know. Maybe he's not doing too well. I can't speak on this, but I was a bit disappointed in his performance.
I've never seen anything like that. The Jay-Z Award for the Impact Award. What an interesting segment. And why did he bring his daughter up there? I thought she probably felt so awkward just standing there. I felt awkward for her.
I think she wanted to be up there.
It's just so awkward. She was like, "What do I do?" Like,
I think Blue Ivy wanted to go up. Okay. Honestly, I think because the reason why I say that is because like she wants to be on stage with her mom dancing. She's like really involved and wants to be in the limelight now, at least from what I can garner. And she went up with him, and she was there, and she was like happy to be there, wasn't she? Like she didn't look.
She felt very uncomfortable for me. Felt very uncomfortable.
I think when she got uncomfortable was when he started getting a little bit political about the Grammys.
No, the entire time I think she looked uncomfortable.
I'll have to go back because I can't even like
Picture, yeah.
conceptualize it. Like I just don't, he started going off. Like if
I
you didn't
loved
watch
what he
the
said about the
Grammys,
Grammys. I love what he
yeah.
said about the Grammys.
Okay. He has like merit in what he's saying, but he kind of like dissed a lot of artists in the process, which I didn't like. Like music is subjective, and there's no who said this? Victoria Monet said this, and I really appreciated her saying that. Everyone that's there is a winner. Like like just making it to that point. If you're at the Grammys, you're winning. I think it was done in really poor taste for him to say like there are people here that shouldn't be here. There are people that win the awards that shouldn't win the awards. You know, Beyonce won the most Grammys, but she never won Album of the Year. What's up with that?
That
You
is
know,
that there is
like
a massive problem with that, in my opinion. But
I I I disagree. I don't think there's any problem with that. She's won 33 Grammys. Like that's a huge accomplishment. That's more than anybody. 34 Grammys maybe. 33, 34, something like that. I don't see anything wrong with that. There's a voting process. It's done fairly. Um it's just a matter of chance, and the point being is that there's no shoulds or shouldn'ts in this. It's all subjective, um, and that's that. Genuinely, and Beyonce, you could tell was uncomfortable by what he was saying. I just thought it was done in really poor taste to take an award, um, and like kind of change the whole focus of it to like make it about his wife, um, and to bring up like, oh, she's won all these Grammys, but she's never won Album of the Year. Like, come on, you know. I thought it was done in poor taste, and to minimize the successes of everyone else there. And it's like, come on, like Beyonce dominates the Grammys. She has more Grammys than any other artist throughout the history of the Grammys. I just like it seemed very like condescending and elitist to me. I really didn't like it. Didn't leave a good taste in my mouth. But Beyonce, I'm a fan. So I just saw Beyonce live. If you want to put a photo.
all right, moving on to Song of the Year. If you guys remember last episode, this is where I went on a massive rant for Billie Eilish to win this because that's what it represents, what the year represented. I'm very proud of that statement on that rant and what I preached, okay? And she fucking won it. Was I right, Benny? Was I fucking right, Benny? Was I right, Benny? Yes, I'll answer your question. I was right, okay? She won it. She deserved it. She killed it. Very happy about this. I have nothing else to add. You guys heard my thoughts on it. Very happy, and I was right. That's all I'll say.
um, I would have preferred her to take Record of the Year for this song. I thought she was gonna get both when she won this. So I was like, okay, she's gonna get Record of the Year too. Good for her. But I was wrong. Um,
And man, were
yeah,
you wrong.
I would have loved to have seen Butterfly take it. Honestly,
I don't think they had a
what a
chance in the
beautiful
world to
what
win.
what a beautiful like disregarding popularity. Just like if we're just talking about like the musicality, I would have loved to have seen Butterfly win. And it's like artists like John Batiste that aren't super successful. I mean he is successful, but he aren't like as successful as someone like Billie Eilish that don't always get the recognition that they deserve. I don't think he got a Grammy. I don't right. I
Yeah,
don't
he
think I
didn't
saw
win.
anything with
He
him
didn't
winning.
win. Yeah, he didn't win anything tonight.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because he's a really talented guy. But
Neither did
you
Olivia.
know,
Olivia came out with nothing.
oh, I didn't she win best? Oh wait, no, she didn't.
Yeah, she didn't win anything.
Not even in the pre-show.
Neither
she
did
didn't win.
Lana, which is bullshit. I'm not okay with that. Her album was one of the best of last year. Okay. Moving on to a performance of one that you were very excited about was the Joni Mitchell performance.
Oh, I was so excited. I'm so happy. Um, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it, Wiley.
Um, like I'm not the biggest Joni Mitchell fan. I love her Blue album. It's very good. Iconic Joni Mitchell. And the song she sang, Both Sides Now, was also very heavily prominent in Coda, the movie Coda, which was the first time I ever heard of the song, honestly. And then I might be, what? I mean, yeah, that's the first time I ever heard of the song. I thought it was very nice and personal, and she did an incredible job with the transition and all the things she's been through. Like, honestly, really impressive, and just a nice little moment for the music industry is what I would say. And music history.
So yeah, so Joni Mitchell is 80 years old, I believe. I'm a I'm a I'm a big Joni Mitchell fan actually, and the performance got me a bit emotional. I'm getting emotional thinking about it right
Cry
now.
on the fucking
uh,
podcast, Benny. I dare
no,
you.
I'm not gonna cry. To start, Joni Mitchell won a Grammy. We didn't talk about it earlier, so I'll just bring it up. She did a live um there was a live performance that she did at the Newport Folk Festival, Jazz Festival, something like that. And she had a lot of the people that were with her there. She had performing with her today, and she did a performance of Both Sides Now at this festival. Brandy Carlisle was there. I remember watching that video and of the performance, and she won a Grammy for that concert because she took it and made it into an album. Gosh, so what a powerful moment. The song itself, Both Sides Now, is like a reflection of life, and when you listen to her 80-year-old self sing the song, knowing that her 20-year-old self wrote it, it's like a time capsule. Like it's like her 20-year-old self wrote this song for her 80-year-old self to sing. And it's like when you really listen to the lyrics and you just imagine just how amazing it is. She lived such a long life and she's gone through the music industry, and she suffered from a stroke, and she, let alone like being able to sing again, who knew that she was going to be able to talk again, and uh the perseverance, and uh just seeing her and at her age, and despite her lack of health, she's still there, she's still pushing, she's still loving music, and she's still bringing the joy of music to everyone around her. What a time! What a powerful moment! And I don't think a lot of the younger people are gonna have that performance resonate with them. Um, but I would encourage you, if you're young and you don't know who Joni Mitchell is, go through her discography, go listen to some of her music, and she really is special. Oh, and
Beautifully
Jacob
said.
Collier performed with her,
Yeah, I
which
saw that on
was
the piano.
definitely really yeah, yeah, you did a good job.
Beautifully said, Benny. Beautifully said. I couldn't say it any better.
Thank you.
Then we had what, like, a vast change of scenery with Travis Scott, which I thought was a really good performance. I don't really care for the
Was.
album, but I thought I kind of messed with it a lot. I really liked it, like how he was in the middle and just a fiend. I liked it quite a bit. It was really cool.
I like the biopic they put before the
Yeah.
performance too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind. Do you know what it reminded me of? Those little moments. It reminded
What?
me of American Idol before they would perform. How they would do those like little short movies. It felt exactly like that, which is hilarious. Okay, so then we had the Grammy head talk about the state of the world, the Grammys, and what the music represents. I thought it was very beautifully said. Is there anything you want to say about that speech?
Wait, about what speech?
It was the Grammy head, like the guy, the head of the Grammys, and he came out and spoke.
The CEO came and spoke. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember. Um, no, I appreciated it. He was very inclusive and made sure to like uh show appreciation for the like cultural and like regional inclusivity in this Grammy specifically, with Burna Boy. He mentioned Dua Lipa, which was kind of like, what?
Dance.
we have a
Dance the
we have
night
a
away.
British person here.
No, that was not.
but,
She was not brought up because she was British. She was brought up because she's Albanian, Benny.
Oh, okay.
Use your brain. What the fuck? Benny, come on. I know it's late, but damn. She wasn't brought up because she's British.
It is 1 a.m. I still have homework to do. I'm fucking tired. I just had 2 shots of espresso. Anyways.
So the next performance we had was Burna Boy and 21 Savage and Brandy. Very happy to see Brandy up there. I thought it was like a okay performance. Definitely one of the weaker ones of the night, in my opinion. Nothing
Okay.
memorable about it, you know. It's just I like seeing Burna Boy up there as the first African um, music performance to ever happen at the Grammys. So that was really cool to see. But yeah, I just didn't think it was super memorable. But I love seeing Brandy up there.
Same. However, I think like how dragged out the Grammys was at this point in the night might have like lessened the impact of the performance. Because if like because I also felt the same way, but if you separate the performance value from like if that was performed earlier on, I think we might have had a different feeling towards the performance. I loved his outfit. Burna Boy's outfit was on point. It was so sick. Um, but the entire like set was great. I loved everything about it. I thought it was really cool. But like the vocals, like the vocal performance was like not memorable for me. There's nothing that really stood out to me. I don't know how much practice they put in the three of them, but
So then after that, we got another award, which honestly, we were so like all over the board on this one. Both of us were like, who is it going to be? We both thought that Ice Spice was going to take this, even though we did not want it. We both had Noah Khan. But I do want to say, I do want to make an announcement. I'm actually going to zoom in the camera here and talk to the camera a little bit real quick. Okay. Okay. I would like to It's really close, but I need to be personal with you guys. I want to formally apologize to the people that watched last episode and me putting disrespect on Victoria Monet's name. And today,
that's fucking right.
today
Own up
I
to your
was
mistake,
watching
Wiley.
a video and it made me hear a song. I'm like, wait, that sounds incredible. And that was Victoria Monet. And then I started listening to her music all day. And that's what I did before the Grammys. And I'm a massive fan. I bought Jaguar 2's vinyl, and I am very upset with myself that I did not see this earlier. So I would like to formally apologize to every one of you of the freshies watching right now. I messed up, and I'm sorry. But now I'm on the Victoria Monet train, and I'm going to stay there. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I'm very sorry, and I'm very, very happy she won. Very happy she won. Okay, Benny, I'll let you talk. Sorry, I had to have that personal moment.
I love Jaguar too.
It's so good. It's so good. But Noah Khan,
It
I would
is.
have loved to see him win too, or Gracie Abrams. But I'm glad it was Victoria Monet. I honestly really was.
I I adored her speech.
Hmm.
She seems so down to earth. Like, oh my gosh, so human, so appreciative. I love it. I love seeing that. Love the good vibes that were coming through today.
So then we had Record of the Year, which was very surprising. For these last two categories, I put Boygenius, just hoping something would happen. I was literally sitting there with this, like this, in front of the screen, hoping and willing to existence. I'm going to put up this picture of my cat, Paul, praying with this record as well, that hopefully it would win. It didn't, but I was still praying for it, still hoping for it, but it didn't happen. And I was like, okay, if that doesn't happen, then I'm fine with Billie winning. But that didn't happen either. It went to Flowers by Miley Cyrus, which was a shock to me. Benny, what did you think about this?
Um, I was shocked too, but not in a bad way. I just didn't necessarily anticipate it. When I was going through record of the year and like trying to like pick which one I wanted to win, um, I kind of didn't even consider Flowers because I thought like I really thought it deserved the best pop solo performance, which it did win. Um, and I just think if we're going based off the production value and the like the work that the engineers put into it, because that's what Record of the Year is based off of. It's the production and engineer work that's put into the song, not the vocals, not the songwriting. Um, I just of everything there. I don't know. I thought What Was I Made For was gonna take it. That was my bet. That's the one I thought the song would take, and it didn't. But Flowers was a massive hit. A year ago now, it was dominating the world.
Yeah, I heard it
I
everywhere.
remember when yeah, I was in South Africa for 3 months last year around this time. And I remember it when I was there, it was on the radio nonstop all the time. But Flowers was a worldwide hit, one of, if not the biggest songs of the year. Um, so you know what? It's deserved if we're gonna go based off like popularity. Um, and of the other songs that stood out, like of the year, if we're going off record of the year, the only other song that was as big as Flowers was What Was I Made For? And of the two, I would say Flowers had much more production work put into it. But for me, the production value and What Was I Made For made the song. It's a very simple song if we're going off the songwriting, but like the atmospheric production that really catapults the vocal and the very simple songwriting and the chords and it's very minimalistic and Phineas is incredible in what he does, but he was able to take the track and make this beautiful atmospheric like track that just transcends emotion, and it was just I don't know. I really thought What Was I Made For was going to take it, but uh yeah, no disrespect to Miley though. I'm really glad she won 2 Grammys. It's about time.
Then we moved on to the last performance of the night, and that is Billy Joel's performance. I know you were also excited about this one as well, Benny.
So stoked. Oh man. I'm a big Billy Joel fan. If you know me, you know I love Billy Joel. So the little like documentary style video they had beforehand of him with that random dude that like encouraged him to write a song was kind of like odd. Like, who is this random guy?
I thought it
You
was
know?
cool. I thought it was cool. Like that guy, I thought it
Um,
was cool.
It's like this random dude was like my doctor's doctor friend knew Billy Joel, and like he agreed to have lunch with me one day, and I think it was cool to see to know that Billy kind of like suffered with songwriting. Like he said that like songwriting was tough for him. It
He
was like
just
a
didn't
really
want
a
to do
hard
it
task for him to
anymore.
do. He just didn't want to write songs anymore. And yeah, he's an incredible songwriter. So just what a bizarre thing to hear from one of the greats, you know? But it was really I'm just really glad uh that he got out of it and put something out, 30 years later. That's awesome. Um but what I was really really happy to see was that Laufey played the cello for him, and she got like prime time shots. Like she was there next to him playing, and she was right there, full center. The light was shining on her. You could see her perfectly fine. Um, and I don't think anybody watching, or not anybody, but I don't think most people watching knew that there was a Grammy winner, a newlywed. I don't know how to say it. a new a newly established Grammy recipient was there performing with Billy Joel. The Laufey, the Icelandic Chinese artist Laufey, the Berklee College of Music graduate Laufey. She was there with the Billy Joel. Mm-hmm. I didn't like his new song though.
Yeah, his new song. I think it's not bad. I think it's just good. I think it's good. I wish he did like
I didn't
Piano
listen
Man or
to the
something.
track. Well,
Yeah.
he ended the show. They ended the show with him playing "You May Be Right," which I thought was kind of random, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Okay. We're at the last category, everyone. And this is, of course, album of the year. And I remember we ended the show last week saying there was 2 albums that we thought that did not deserve it and everything else it could go to. And those were The Age of Pleasures by Janelle Monáe and Midnights by Taylor Swift. And guess what it went to? Midnights by Taylor Swift.
T-Swizzle, baby. So
okay, before you speak, there's a reason she won this. There's a reason.
Was broken tonight.
Yes, exactly. They saw that, the voters saw that, and they wanted that to happen, so that's what happened. That's purely how it happened. That's how she got it, was because they wanted to do that.
I don't think that's how it went down.
I think so. I think so. I definitely think so.
The reason why I don't think that's how it went down is because the way we vote, as Grammy members vote, it's not going to say like, oh, if Taylor in the ballot, when you get it in the email, it's not going to say like, oh, Taylor Swift will win 4 Album of the Year Grammys. It will be the first artist to do so if she wins this award. Like, people voted a long time ago for this, and I don't think it was known to them, the people that actually vote. I just think Taylor Swift has just been so culturally relevant right now that the votes just happen to reflect where she stands in the music industry at the moment. I don't think anybody like was like, I'm gonna vote for her because she's gonna break a record if I vote for her. Like I really don't think that's how it went down.
I
But
disagree. I think that's exactly how it went down because there was a combination of things, in my opinion. One, like you said, the popularity and how she blow up was definitely put into account. Second, they saw that statistic and they would want that to happen. So people are like, "Oh, she's the biggest star
no,
in the things. Hey, let me speak." She wanted to have they wanted her to have that statistic because she is the biggest pop star in the world, and that's the reason they gave it to her, is because of how
but
big she is this year, everything that she accomplished, and to give her that because they felt like that was her stature. There's no way in hell
yeah,
every person listened to every single album on here, because you can't go to me saying that everyone did, because they're normal people. They're not going to spend the time listening to
well,
everything.
they're not normal people. They're industry
Benny,
professionals.
everyone that votes for Best Picture at the Oscars do not watch every single
No,
Best
dude,
Picture nominee.
I don't know what goes on at the Oscars,
It's
but I
people in the
do know what
industry. It's
goes
the
on.
same thing as the
Yeah,
Grammys vote. It's the same
yeah,
exact thing.
but for an award that's as prominent as album of the year, I would imagine that most people listen to these albums or
Wouldn't you say the
know.
same thing for Best Picture? But that does not happen, Benny.
See, I don't know. It's I genuinely don't know. It's different to sit down and watch a film, but I think like it's your fiduciary duty to vote with true like intent and merit.
No, not
But my
everyone's going to
point,
do that.
but,
Not
but,
everyone's
but
going to do
my
that, Benny.
point being is that when these people voted, they didn't know off the top of their head that if Taylor Swift won this fourth award, that she would break a record. Like that's not
Dude, I
that.
guarantee you,
If
there's no way we'll ever know. But I
there,
guarantee you they had it on the ballot
but
that they
there's
were voting
but
on.
there's tens of thousands, if not, I don't even know what the number is. Tens of thousands of people that vote. I have friends that voted, and trust me, I guarantee you that none of them was like, oh, if I'm gonna vote for Taylor Swift because she's gonna break a record if she wins. Trust me, like I really don't think that's how it went down. Like, and also, like, people are gonna watch this that don't really know how the Grammys work and the voting process. I would encourage you to go and watch our previous episode. The very like first 15 minutes, we talk about how the Grammys work and votes and everything. Just so you understand, or just look it up on Google and educate yourself. But there isn't like this like big academy where it's like, or there isn't this like select group of people that come together and like, oh, let's handpick these artists for reasons like, oh, Taylor Swift's gonna win an award, let's give her this award. Or Taylor Swift's gonna break a record, let's give her this award so she breaks the record. Like that's not how it works. I'm sure I'm positive, Wiley, though. I'm not saying that nobody did it. I'm certain there was bound to be people that had that ideology and knew that she would get her fourth album of the year or whatever and break a record. There's got to be a ton of Swifties in the Recording Academy. Like, considering how massive her fan base is, there's got to be Swifties that are voting. You know what I mean? So I think, like, yes, there are people that did vote based off that, and like there's so many possibilities and thought processes, and everyone's different. But I don't think I don't want to I don't want to push this narrative that like, oh, she got this because she was gonna break an award. I don't think that's like completely factual. I think it's like an abundance of factors, and it just happened that people voted for this to be the album of the year. And in Taylor's defense, I'm not a fan of Midnight's as an album. I don't think, in my opinion, I think the other albums deserved album of the year. But considering like the significance and just how massive her fan base is and how well received this album was, this is kind of Taylor's year. So, you know, this is like we're in the era of Taylor Swift. Talk about the Eras tour. We are living in Taylor Swift's world, bro. This is Taylor Swift's world, and we're just living in it right now.
I like to see she brought up Lana with her on the stage.
Yeah, same
She
actually.
deserved an
I
award
thought.
and she didn't win anything, which is bullshit. And I'll stand by that. She
Oh,
should have
and
won.
something. something that I must mention is that Taylor Swift completely dubbed Celine Dion. Did you see that? Completely disregarded her. Didn't say hello to her. Didn't acknowledge her. Didn't thank
Does
her
that
or say anything to
matter?
her. It's very improper. It's very informal to do that. In
She was
Taylor's
too busy
defense,
trying to get Lana Del Rey on stage. I let it slide. Okay. Lana
yeah,
needed to be up there.
I will also, in her defense, on top of that too, she just broke a record for winning the most album of the year Grammys ever. So I'll give it to her. But I wouldn't be surprised if like that comes out in the media within the next day or two about how she dubbed Celine Dion, because it was like it was very very noticeable. I mean, I think like a lot of people probably, there's some people that wouldn't be as focused on that, but it's like proper etiquette to, in like any award ceremony, to like acknowledge who is giving you the award and thank them, and it's or anything in life. Like if you're engaging with someone, you acknowledge them. You know what I mean? Um, but Taylor Swift was singing along when Celine Dion came out to announce the nominees. They played one of her songs. I forget which one it was, and Taylor Swift was in the crowd, and they put the camera on her, and she was singing along. So, um, I don't think it was like any ill intent, but I was like, huh, interesting. Like she just completely tossed her to the side. But I did like that she acknowledged Lana though. Like you said, like she brought Lana up. And she said something along the lines of like, Lana's like inspired like all these female artists within the last decade to, go and make music, and she influenced them, and she's like deserving of this or whatever. So uh I did like that. It was really nice for her to acknowledge her and to put her on the stage. Lana didn't seem too happy though. I don't know if she has RBF. I don't really know much about her. But like you know what I mean? Like she looked like throughout the award ceremony, like towards the end, she looked like kind of like disappointed. Um, which that's a completely logical feeling to have.
The thing is with Midnight's winning. Thing is, I've stated on many things, I think Taylor Swift is very talented. It's amazing what she's accomplished. She's there for a reason. Her Eras tour was massive, is still massive and continuing. Very talented songwriter, has some great songs, has put so much effort and energy and time into this industry, helping people's careers, helping people give voices, happily having so many fans that are writing personal stories that they feel like represent them is very special and unique. And I acknowledge that completely. But this did not need to win Album of the Year when she already just won Pop Vocal Album. It did not. This is the only album to win 2 Grammys tonight, and it was Midnight's. That's an insane statistic to me. That should not be that way.
Also, the pop vocal album too, like Midnight's, the vocals on Midnight's did not serve. They're like, if we're
That's
going
being
based off
modest,
vocal,
Biddy. That's being modest.
respectfully, like Taylor Swift isn't like a true vocalist with dynamic vocals in her music.
I think she has good
I
vocals, but they're not unique, and you don't like stand out coming out of a Taylor
well,
Swift song saying they're amazing vocals.
they're vocals. I wouldn't say they're like amazing dynamic vocals. You know what I mean? Like it's very like easily sung. It's pop music. She makes music that like people can sing along to. It's not like she's not like Beyonce or SZA or Victoria Monet or like she's not singing.
I don't know.
She's not Miley Cyrus. So.
I'm very disappointed with her winning Album of the Year. I can't state that enough. I would have been fine with everything besides Janelle Monáe and Taylor Swift winning. I would have been fine with anyone else winning. I just feel like they had more of an impact. The record had Phoebe. I love it. I'm very biased towards this album, but there was so much uniqueness to this, and it was just incredible. John Baptiste was telling a narrative through the whole story that's super unique. Did you know there's a tunnel of ocean under Ocean Boulevard? Lana Del Rey's album was beautiful, one of the best of the year. That was just incredible and dynamic. You had Endless Summer by Miley Cyrus, which was a breakup album, deep rooted with great vocals and just outstanding overall. Not really a dead track on that album. Then you had Guts, which Olivia, within the same album, changed genres and did unique things that I've never seen anything done like it before. You got SOS, that was just a beautiful R&B album that was just very unique. And what did Midnights do besides represent Taylor Swift's year? Nothing. And that's where my frustration comes in. I felt every other album had something unique it was bringing to the industry, and none of them got represented tonight. So it frustrates me. It frustrates me. And I can't get over that
I completely understand.
hump.
I completely understand. Valid. It's so valid. Very, very well articulated, Wiley. But it's like I said, it's Taylor's world, and we're just living in it. She is the top dog in the music industry.
Do you think? Let me ask you this: a year from now, do you think we'll be talking as Midnight as one of the best albums of all time?
You know the answer to that. So, if even in the history of Taylor Swift, like, 40, 50 years from now, when Taylor Swift's career's probably come to a cease and she's not really releasing music anymore, she's just living life and enjoying herself.
Like, here's the thing with award shows. The thing with award shows for me is usually my loves never win, ever. Best Picture, it's never what I want to win. Every year I pick what I'm most passionate about, and it never wins. Like this year, I want it to be Past Lives, one of the best movies of the year, but it's going to be Oppenheimer. I just know it. Same with the album of the year. I wanted Boygenius. It was going to be Boygenius, and it happens every year. I did not like Harry's House as much as everyone else did. I thought it was the weakest
Phenomenal
of his albums.
Incredible album. That's
so blasphemy. I don't agree with the general. I don't agree with the general and everyone thinks. I never have, and I don't think I ever will. So it's like, what am I complaining for? It's what I want to win is never going to win album of the year. It just isn't, and that was proven again for the second year in a row. So yeah, it's just frustrating to me. I'll end it there on my thoughts on it. But anyways, that has been the recap of the 2024 Grammys. I'm glad to be done talking with it. We can move on to talk about new music, old music, just interesting stuff. I'm very glad to do that. I do want to say that we are officially on all podcasting platforms now. So if you prefer to listen on the go, on Spotify, Apple, just wherever you listen to music, Amazon, you can find it there now. Just look up The Fresh Record and give us a follow on there, and it will come out the same day as this. So if you want to do that, make sure to do that. Follow, like, and comment. You can follow me at Wiley K. Todd on all social medias, making videos and stuff like that. It's a little bit tricky with the new UMG rights with Universal, which I do want to talk about next episode of The Fresh Record. So stay tuned for that. Benny, where can they find you?
You can find me at Benny Camella. My name will be here somewhere in the description. I don't think it's on the layout anymore. We got a new layout. If you guys, weren't here last episode, this is new. We're really stepping up our game. We're every week we're changing it up. Every 2 weeks, but we did a special this week where we did an episode each week for the Grammys. We promised to do a recap and to have it out the next day because, people are trying to figure out what happened last night, and we're here to help. So, you can find me at Benny Camella on just about everything. There's only one of me. There's no hiding from you guys. Feel free to add me wherever you'd like. And please be sure to subscribe, like, and comment on this video. It really helps with the engagement. Share with friends. We're starting from scratch here, the both of us, and anything helps moving forward. And we're gonna keep on trying to do our best with this podcast and keep on doing better and making reparations as we go. We're learning as we do this. But I'm very, very proud of last week's episode. We won over 1.3 thousand plays on YouTube,
Insane.
which for like our first real post on this account, um, was really an accomplishment. I like to thank everybody that came from my socials. I try promoting it a bit on my stories. Anybody that's been with me in my career for the last 10 years, you're coming to this podcast, like switching from me as a musician, as a personality to this. There was no guarantee that anybody was actually going to come and listen. So if you're here from anything that I've done in the past, really appreciate you. And anybody that came here from Guideline too, with Wiley's past account. Wiley's going through a rebranding phase. We're doing our best. So just thank you guys for sticking with us. Thank you for listening. I don't want to go off on a tangent any more than I have. It's a bit redundant, I think, but really, really looking forward to seeing where we go with this. Things seem to be going in a good direction.
Yep. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next time on The Fresh Record.